Hey everybody, welcome back to the Overwatch Project. In this video, what no one is saying about the SJWs that are ruining comics and Star Wars. Now, I want to bring something new into this equation, something that I haven't seen anyone talk about yet, and that is the esoteric nature of good fiction and good artwork. And one of the things that has happened, and one of the reasons that I think a lot of this SJW crap in comics and how they're ruining the Marvel print and DC and other comic books, and how they've ruined Star Wars and even the new Star Trek movies, is because the esoteric nature that resonates with the subconscious has been stripped away from these stories. It's all fluff, nonsense, or political garbage. And the term SJW is a modern, I guess a more modern term, but believe it or not, these type of people have been with us, with humanity, as long as maybe forever, and they had different names throughout different parts of history. But 2,000 years ago, the Gnostics called them Hylics, or Sarks, meaning they were deeply material, embedded to this matrix reality, and while they may have a collective consciousness, they act as if they have no spirit. They are essentially, I don't want to say, well, they are kind of mindless, so they act almost like non-player characters in video games. The ancient Gnostics divided people into three different types of mentalities, or spiritual hierarchy, if you will. The Hylics were the lowest. The Psychics were half in and half out. The Pneumatics were truly spiritual people, which are extremely rare. And this is a good video to watch that explains that really well. Esoteric lectures, the Gnostics, Hylics, Psychics, and Pneumatics. One of the other things that people point out about this SJW garbage is that it's forced diversity, right? And I just want to remind people of the original Star Trek. Now, I was a big fan when I was little. The original Star Trek, I never saw it. I never think of these things as diversity, because to me it's always been about the person. And people forget this great quote here. That you judge a person by their content of their character. And even in fiction, we do that. We judge characters, we judge the people in our fictional stories by the content of their character. And a well-written story, a well-artistically drawn comic book has all these elements. It has esoteric elements in it. It has, what I mean by esoteric is the hidden knowledge of reality, the thing our subconscious knows but doesn't come to the forefront. It comes from that inner voice, the intuition, that we know things. And this, it was really amazing what they did in the 60s with the original Star Trek. You even have episode 21 in the first season, The Return of the Archons, which was every single episode of the original series was an amazing piece of work. And if you look at what's going on with Comicsgate and these other channels that are pointing all this stuff out, we are not racist, we're not bigoted, we're not homophobes, we're none of these things. But because people aren't resonating with these stories, because they're devoid of reality. And SJWs are sort of mindless people, devoid of reality. You can't reason with them. You can't talk to them. They are vile. They're essentially evil. And this channel here, Alex Becker, interesting. A lot of his videos are really to the point about this and kind of funny to watch. And I got a tip from his channel. I was always including all the source material to my videos in the description section below, but I'm going to do something different in this video, because I found out through this channel that YouTube's algorithm, if you start linking to material outside of YouTube, outside of the Google sphere, that you're hurting your own videos. So I'm going to figure out a way right here live on how you can get to the source material, to these tabs I have opened up on my browser, so you can check all this stuff out for yourself without linking them directly below. I'll tell you how to do that at the end, toward the end of the video. So there is a distinct difference between the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the comic book section of Marvel. It's stark difference. No pun intended there, Tony Stark. But, I mean, the Marvel Universe is a cohesive, giant, interlinked, all these different fictional stories and characters and all these different TV shows and movies, all existing in the same reality, the same fictional reality, all interconnected. And yet, it's done brilliantly. I mean, sure, occasionally there could be some things that may have been done better, but for the most part, most of these people that run this stuff are maybe on the liberal side of politics as far as that is concerned. I am more like apolitical. I see all statism, any form of government, as oppressive. And basically, we'll get into another video about that stuff, that I have some new material with that about. But anyway, what they've done here is nothing short of unprecedented. These many shows and all this stuff, and it's all watchable. It's all so much esoteric stuff comes out. If you Doctor Strange, if you haven't seen this movie, it is a must-see, but all of them. And there's a way to watch them all coherently together. Matter of fact, let me go bring up that list. Okay, yeah, there is actually a guide on some CNET that explains you the correct watching order for everything. And look at the size of this thing. Now, it is because of the esoteric nature that is embedded in all these fictional stories that make it truly brilliant, and why it resonates with the subconscious, on top of how well it's written, how well the special effects are, and how well all the stories jive together, Infinity War, all this stuff. It's amazing, right? Now, they could replicate that in the print industry, but unfortunately, Marvel and Disney and what they've done with Star Wars is ruin it, right? I mean, Star Wars may not even be salvageable at this point after The Last Jedi, because it was such it's really so bad. I didn't even watch Solo, but I can't wait for the next part of Infinity War to come out. So it's about what's coming next. A lot of these comic people that have been shunned by their own industry because they have more open minds, and they're more free thinkers, and they're not SJWs, have had to go their own way, so to speak. And one, Ethan from Comic Artist Pro Secrets channel, he had a just to show you how much the backlash is going on with this stuff, a Indiegogo campaign to fund his Cyberfrog Blood Honey comic book, and he wanted I think $8,000, and he's up to $236,189. People want good fiction, good artwork. People want stuff that resonate deeply inside their subconscious, and I'm not sure what to make of these SJWs. Are they people that are of some sort of collective consciousness? They're not the same spirited beings with divine sparks as some other humans. Were the ancient Gnostics correct that these Hylics, to them, were essentially unteachable? You could not raise up their vibrational level or understanding of reality. That's the way they saw them. And if you watch some of the videos where they are completely absent from reality and get upset or offended because the average height of a male is usually taller than a woman. I mean, it's amazing. Some of the just biological differences bother them. All this stuff with these made up genders. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. But they're just the latest incarnation of these types of people. They've always been with us. They've always been around us. whether they are just been reincarnated so many times in this really evil matrix that we're all stuck in, that their souls have become fragmented. I do not know exactly, but anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now, and how you're going to get to all these links that I have here is on my website. I have a minds.com, so you go to my website, overwatchproject.com. On Minds, my Minds channel, that button takes you right to my Minds channel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a unique hashtag, so you can always search for the show notes. So we'll put the title down, which will be What No One Is Saying. What no one is, you know what, I'm just going to pause this so you don't have to watch me type. Okay, so I'm just going to leave a post on my Minds page. That is this title of the video, What No One Is Saying About the SJWs Ruining Comics and Star Wars, show notes. And I'm going to leave it under hashtag Overwatch, OVR watch, and the date, today's date, 2018-06-17. So if you just go to Minds and put in that hashtag in the search box, you'll come up with this, and I'll have all the links to these tabs below. And it'll look something like this. And you'll be able to get to all these links. And I'm sorry for any background noise, but there's some construction going on here today, so I can't help that. I hope that this microphone now is blocking out most of my laptop's fan noise if it comes on. And that's it for right now. Next video, I'll be about how humanity's one big giant cargo cult. I'll see you then. I may attach something at the end of this. I'm not sure yet, but if there's nothing here, then don't worry about it. I'll see you next time. Bye.